responding to a question that we got this week with all of my heart. If you're somebody who's going through heartbreak right now in a relationship or just in general, just feeling like your heart is super vulnerable right now, this video is for you. From Andy. Hi there, Veronica. Would like to start by saying that I love your videos. They have been an immense help to me and have enriched my life greatly. I was wondering if you might do a video on the subject of overcoming heartache and relationship breakups. I have been going through a difficult time with this lately and would love to hear thoughts on how to heal and move on from the emotional pain of such a situation. Thank you so much for this question. It is something I think all of us can benefit from. So, how do you get through that painful heartache of the love of your life, or even a relationship that just wasn't working comes to an end? You know, either way, it's like something that you are so accustomed to being in your life is suddenly not there anymore, and there is typically a feeling of emptiness and what we call heartache, this pain in the heart, this sadness or grief that can be the byproduct of such an ending. So first, I want to emphasize that with the closing of any chapter, whether it is a relationship or a career or moving out of a house, or really anything, maybe you just lost a bunch of weight, so like a reinvention of yourself, maybe you've changed your style or cut your hair. Anytime we close a chapter, big or small, there's an opportunity to honor the past. And our culture is really bad at this, typically. And it's so important to pause and simply open up a space of reflection for what was. This allows grief to come up if it's in the body, and allows whatever feelings, whatever insights, whatever wants to emerge from that reflection, from that space of silence, of peace, and of spaciousness. The reason this is so important is because once we allow ourselves to fully honor the past and feel whatever feelings are associated with the past, then we make the space for a brand new door to open that will be in alignment with who you are now, rather than the part of you that may be pushing down feelings and not wanting to look at the past. So really important, honor the past. I can tell you, even from leaving my corporate life many years ago, I went through months of grieving. So that wasn't a breakup, but it was a change, a radical change in my life. And it was like, who am I? Oh my God, what is my identity, kind of thing. So anytime we have a big change, it changes our identity, so to speak, and of course grief and discomfort can come up. If you are going through a breakup right now or some kind of deep heartache, congratulations, because this can be an opportunity for a great awakening. This can be an opportunity to rise up into the truth of who you are. The thing with heartache is, if we think about it, then we're just perpetuating the pain. The only thing that heals is presence. The only thing that heals is a deep willingness and courageous willingness to be with what is. So if there's radical pain and sadness going on in the body, we're going to get into this, then the opportunity is to sit with it, to be with it, and to allow it to be, to really embrace it, which is a synonym for surrendering into it or accepting it. It's only through that level of embrace and surrender and acceptance that it can actually transform. Now, most of us, when we are in that place of heartbreak, think a lot. And that doesn't allow that acceptance to take place. That doesn't allow true healing to take place. Healing is really, it comes from the word wholeness. So it's about bringing the fragments back together again. It's about bringing the perceived pieces or facets back together again. When we think about things, we're fragmenting life even more. But when we drop out of the thinking mind and just radically drop into love and acceptance of what is, that's when healing can take place and integration. So before I get into the treasure tool, which is all about this, I will just say, Andy, check out and notice, have you been thinking a lot? Have you been caught in the story? If so, it's probably why it's hard to shake the breakup and hard to shake the heartache, because this thinking, that we tend to do as humans, it really resists the healing process, and that which we resist, it grows. So it makes things seem like they're a lot worse and a lot more dramatic and a lot more painful than they actually are. Fight or flight is the animal instinct. And as humans, we typically do that fight or flight thing. As we evolve in consciousness, we're being invited into a new way. Fighting what is, it just creates more of it. Fleeing a situation typically can create more of it if we don't address it within ourselves. So when we think about the pain or the story that's creating the pain, we're actually running away from what we're really feeling. So it's just another unconscious way of avoiding what is. The evolutionary impulse is inviting us to flow, to a place of fluidity, to really align with our soul destiny. So Andy, my question for you is, where do you feel, and anyone watching this right now, you can ask this of yourself, okay? Where do you feel the heartbreak in your body? You may find that a silly question, like obviously it's in my heart, but it may be anywhere. So if you just tune in, where do you feel that discomfort? Where do you feel that dis-ease? It may be in your throat. It may be here in the heart. It may be a combination. It might be your whole body. You might feel pain and tension in the neck. You might feel anxiety, kind of in your upper back. So just locate that and breathe into it. So body, breath. So we're breathing into the body. That is going to immediately take you into a place of presence. And presence is the way to flow. Fighting and fleeing is really just more past-future drama, like running towards the future to avoid a painful past, or thinking about the past to avoid recreating a painful future, and it just perpetuates the same noise. It perpetuates the same drama. So with flow, when we come into the present moment and deeply trust that whatever we're feeling right now is a gateway, miracles transpire, healing takes place, and of course we are freed into being the full, magnificent beings that we're here to be. This breakup that you're going through has the opportunity to really propel you forward in your life in a radical way and in a really good way, but the only way for that to take place is to be present and grounded in presence. It's why my whole life is devoted to presence, to the moment. Pain is typically what keeps us out of the present moment because we don't want to feel it. So right now you're being given this colossal feeling body experience, and what happens is, if you can really be with this feeling, really open up to it, like you're just breathing into it, feeling where it is in the body, noticing if you go into thought, bring your awareness to your third eye if possible. That just helps to soften the thinking or activate the witness consciousness. And you can just imagine, so for the treasure tool right now, which I love doing, not just through really dramatic times, but every single day, actually, every time I work out, I do this, is to go on a walk with whatever you're feeling. Morning is great, especially early before everyone's out and about, because then it's this super calm, beautiful energy outside. Or you might just go sit under a tree or lay in bed before you get out of bed and do this. And just ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? And where do I feel that in my body? Then just breathe into it. And allow yourself to feel what you're feeling without trying to change it. It's like you are literally walking with or laying with, however you choose to do it, that feeling. Like it is something outside of you, because it is. You are not your feelings. You are not your thoughts. They simply are patterns that are moving through you. So through periods like this, when let's say for the entire week, you start your day before you even get out of bed with just breathing into, what am I feeling right now? And if it's just like this radical sadness, then weep. Weep your freaking eyes out. Grieve, let it out. And notice if you start thinking, oh, poor me, oh, why am I in bed crying right now? That's a story, that's a lie. It's going to keep you from the present moment. And it's just like, oh, okay, there's that thought, come back to the feeling. Because if the truth is, if you're in presence with your feelings, you're a powerhouse. You're the furthest thing from a victim. You have the courage to be present with what is, and that's what's awakening your consciousness. That's expanding your aperture of presence, allowing you to embrace yourself entirely, which is what is going to allow you to call in a relationship with somebody who can embrace you entirely. The more that we can drop into these moments of self-love and self-acceptance and presence with our feelings, really flowing with what is, the less there is this neediness and attachment to people and things outside of us. There's a spaciousness that's created. There's a friendship that's created within ourselves that then reflects in our relationships. And it's essential that it starts within. So are you open to, Andy, becoming your best friend right now? Like profoundly, like on a level that is beyond my words, beyond what you can imagine right now, beyond conditions. Love you through heartache, love you through weeping, love you through punching the pillow, love you through laughing like a maniac, love you, love you through all three of those things happening within 1 minute. You know, just letting go of the story that there's anything wrong with what you're feeling and just being curious and watching, like asking yourself, what do I feel? Where do I feel it in my body? And opening up to it. Don't let the feeling become thinking. If it does, just come back to feeling again and again and again. Just keep noticing. And again, this is just expanding your awareness, expanding your friendship with yourself, expanding that unconditional love that you are. So even in this minute, I'm tuning into myself. I feel energy in my heart right now and in my throat. Not sure why, but I am. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter. But there's a lot of energy in my heart. My mind wants to figure it out. Is it good? Is it bad? It's just a lot of energy. It's not good or bad. Staying with my breath. Breath and spirit in many languages are this. There's only one word. When you connect to your breath, you connect to your spirit. The ultimate friend, the ultimate beloved. That's all it takes. Every day, several times a day, I call it shine time. Coming into the breath, the body, and ideally focusing your gaze softly with your eyes closed to the brow center. The 3 B's, breath, body, brow center, really easy to remember, and you can go on your walk. I love doing this in the morning. It's such a lovely feeling to come into a place in life where rather than trying to change what's going on in you, you just instead open up and embrace what is and be present with it. And what happens is the truth of who you are is the one that opens, is the one that is this radical embrace, expansive, unlimited, boundless, unbreakable, unshakable. So the more you migrate to this place of presence with what is, the more you're awakening the consciousness that you are. And it is through times like this that a radical growth spurt takes place. And just know that you are so loved and so cared for, and life loves you. And I intend and choose that through this video you know that more and more. And feel free, everyone, to just share comments down below of how you get through heartbreak and heartache, and try it out. Try going for a walk every single morning for a week and just ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Where do I feel it in my body? And walk with it. Have that feeling walk. You know, are you going on a fear? Is fear present? Then walk with fear. Is joy present? Then walk with joy. Is grief present? Vulnerability present? Walk with that vulnerability. You know, sometimes I walk with my hands on my heart and I'm just super embracing myself on those more vulnerable days. It works. So that's my little tip here today, migrating from fight or flight to flow. And may you enjoy this powerful treasure tool as you utilize this time to fall in love with yourself and expand in that loving with ease, grace, and courage. So much love, everyone.